February 9th, and it is Super Bowl Sunday. My shift tonight is from 7 to 10. That is a 3-hour shift. Sometimes I'll stay until 10:30, just depending on how things go. But I'm going to take you on this little ride along, and we're going to see how much I can make in that shift. I hope you're ready. Let's do it. Well, I was in the store for about 30 minutes, and now I'm out on my first delivery. I actually spoke to this customer on the phone, and he was really upset because he couldn't see his address in the mobile app, and he was like, "You guys need to fix that mobile app." I was like, well, we don't necessarily have a lot of control over that from our store, but I'll let my manager know, and maybe they can forward it on to the higher ups for you. But even though he couldn't see his address, it's still registered in our system, so his order went through fine. He said he left us a very negative rating, but he was like, "I know the pizza's going to be great, and you guys are going to have it to me fast, so just disregard that low rating for your store." Like, well, that low rating still counts, you know? One of my coworkers told me that the Eagles are up 24-0, and that Mahomes has been sacked 4 times. Those words really don't mean anything to me because I don't care about the game. Okay, we just dropped off our first delivery, and that was the guy we talked to on the phone who was upset about the app. He was very nice in person, and I told him I was sorry and that I would let the manager know. And I said, you know, I don't know how much control she has over what the app screen shows you, or, you know, what address is displayed when you submit your order, but I said, I'm confident that whatever she can do, she will do. Now, I don't think she's going to be able to do anything about that. I think that's run by much higher ups in the company, but nevertheless, he was very appreciative that, you know, I showed care. And I think that says something about, you know, your interactions with customers when you're driving. Just a little bit of politeness and, you know, showing that you care just goes a long way, even if their concern may not be something that you can actually do anything about. Just showing them that you care means something to the customers. And I'm confident after that interaction that he will be a repeat customer, and he may not have otherwise if I had handled it differently. So that's something. All right, I'm going to close out this order. First order of the night, I'll tell you what we made. It was a $47 order. We made $4, so that's not a terrible way to begin the night. We will take it. I'm headed back to the store now, and the store was just overrun with drivers when I got back. I mean, I think that every driver that we have on staff was in store, and that's not a ton of fun. I understand why they did that, but it's like a driver's hornet's nest in there, and I think my manager started sending people home early because she realized it was overstaffed a bit. I guess I'll go ahead and tell you while I'm headed back to the store. If this is your first time watching one of these videos, I've only done a few so far, so it probably is. But drivers in my area, I'm in Texas, and drivers in my area make $4.50 on the road. And then we make $7.50 when we're not on delivery, when we're in the store, per hour. And we actually have 3 streams of income. So there's that hourly wage, depending on whether we're on the road or in the store. And then we also get paid 40 cents per mile that we drive as gas mileage reimbursement. And so if you have an electric car, I think that's a pretty great thing for you. I don't. I have a little Honda Civic, but it still gets really good gas mileage. So 40 cents per mile is very good. And then, of course, the biggest source of income for us most nights would be tips. And we are not a cashless store. We do accept cash, or we accept card or Apple Pay. And so people can tip through any of those means. And so I will definitely be tallying my tips and my hourly and my mileage and all of that at the end of the night, and estimating what is going to appear on our paycheck for this shift. So I'll keep you posted on all that. Pulling back into the store, and it looks like there are only 2 drivers here, which is great, because there were like 8 or 9 earlier. So hopefully we'll pick up a bit. I'll be back. It's 7:46 and I picked up my second order, so I wasn't in the store for very long. And I'm on the way to it now. It's only a 7-minute drive. They had all kinds of delicious snacks for us at the store. Pigs in a blanket and like classic buffalo dip, crackers, brownies. Somebody made really good brownies. And so I've just been partaking way more than I'm supposed to. I'm eating a lot of bad food. Supposed to be on the keto diet, and that's not happening tonight. But anyway, I'll keep you posted. Second delivery, we're doing it. That was a cash order that we just dropped off. That was our second order of the night. And the total was for $33.60. And they gave us $38 in cash. That leaves us with a $4.40 tip. So if I've got the last amount right, I think it was $4 for our first delivery. So we are at $8.40 for tips. That's not bad. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. We've been on the clock for less than an hour, and we're cooking. We just got back to the store, and there's only one other driver here, which means we're not gonna be sitting here too long. Awesome. I'll see you in a few minutes. I'm on order number 3 of our Super Bowl delivery experience. I just picked it up from the store, and it's to a very nearby apartment complex. It's only about a 4-minute drive. 2 extra large pizzas. So I will check back in with you when delivering. Just dropped off order number 3, and they tipped us $3. That is not bad for the very short drive that we did to get to them. And so I'm headed back to the store now. Check back in with you in a bit. It's 8:42. I've got order number 4 of the night with me. It's not a very large order, it's just 2 items. Hope your night is going well, or day, or whatever it is for you. Just dropped off order number 4. They gave us a $3 cash tip, which is always appreciated. They paid with credit, but they gave us a cash tip. So we will just take that money home with us. And we're not doing so bad. What are we at, like 15 bucks in tips maybe? Yeah, 14.40 maybe. 14.40. I'm eating way too much snacky food. Pigs in a blanket, brownies, crackers, buffalo dip. I really got to stop today, but they got just a Super Bowl spread, and they had hot wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. Or no, what's the other place called? Wingstop. There we go. Yeah, they had boneless wings from Wingstop, and I ate a few of those. My tummy doesn't feel very good. I'm pulling back up to the store. Ooh, the driver's strip is empty. That means we are in good shape. We're about to walk out with another order. I see one on the rack for us. I gotta go. There was one waiting for me, and it's another 3-minute drive. I'm just back on the road. By the way, this is order number 293, which means we've done almost 300 orders in one day. I don't think I've ever seen that in the 4 months I've been driving. I could be wrong, but that is a very high volume night. Sometimes we'll be in like the 150s when I'm done with my shift, but yeah, we're up in the late 290s. I'm here with the order, and it's $22.25, and we'll see what kind of a tip we get. You will see my reaction. $5. Okay, for a $22 order, we got a $5 tip. That ain't bad. I think is that our best tip of the night so far? That's not great. That's not great. But you know what? That's okay. We will nickel and dime our way to a fortune tonight. That's what we'll do. It's a good time, I guess, to talk about wages as a Domino employee. I average for a 4-hour shift, I average like somewhere around $75 before taxes are taken out. Something like, you know, $70 maybe after tax is what I average for a 4-hour shift. And I usually work Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday. That's about to change because my wife just put in her 2 weeks notice last week, and I'm gonna have to start picking up some extra hours and supplementing my full-time income. I work full-time as a graphic designer, but I took on Domino's as a part-time job about 4 months ago to start supplementing my regular income. And yeah, so, you know, $70 after tax for a 4-hour shift, $17.50 maybe per hour, which in Texas is not a bad wage for a part-time job, not bad at all. There are some places that pay, you know, $7.50 an hour or something. If you're an in-store employee here at Domino's, that's what you make, is $7.50 an hour. But if you're a driver, you can make substantially more. Of course, you have to take your own car out on the road and be in some peril of traffic and things like that. If you're comfortable doing that, if you're comfortable driving, then I would say it is a very good part-time income. I would not want to do this full-time. You know, making this a full-time job would be difficult because I always work evening shifts. I work the dinner shift. I usually work like between 5 and 9, or on Sundays I do 7 to 11 because I have church services and other social activities and things on Sunday that I have to work around. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do it full time because I think during the day it is difficult to make that high a wage. But really nice part-time gig if you can do the dinner shift. Okay, it's 9:30 and I am on delivery, I think 6 of the night. I've been in the store for a while, but we had a customer call who had placed a carry-out order, which means they were gonna come into the store, but it had been sitting on the rack forever, and then all of a sudden they called and said they wouldn't make it into the store, so they asked us to please deliver. And I asked the manager about that, and she said to go ahead and drive it to them and to just not charge the delivery fee, because like opening it up and making it a delivery order from a carry-out order was going to be a whole thing. So I am bringing that order to them now, and it's kind of cool because, well, I get a little extra mileage. It's about an 8-minute drive, and I get to show as being in store while I'm on this delivery, which means I'm going to make $7.50 per hour during that time at that rate. So I'm driving, but I'm not showing it as driving. I would make $4.50 if I was actually taking a delivery in the app, but instead I'm making $7.50. So I'm gonna run that, and it was kind of cool talking to her on the phone. She was very apologetic for having to change that to a delivery. And she was saying, like, if my sister doesn't tip you very well, you know, text me at this number and let me know. And, you know, she was just very, very kind and sweet. And so I'm expecting a decent tip on this order. It sounds like she's going to take care of us. Ow. I just bit my tongue. I took one that wasn't a delivery. It was a carry-out, but they called and asked if we would deliver it to them. That one was like an 8-minute drive, and they ended up tipping me $10, so that was really nice, $10 in cash. And now I am back on the road with probably my final delivery of the night, because it's like 10:17, I think. 10:17 p.m. And it is a 4-minute drive, and it is order 300. I don't think I've ever seen us do 300 orders in a day, but 300, that one went to me. I haven't been stiffed yet, so that's worth celebrating. I heard that the Eagles won, and that it was a pretty big landslide. Again, I don't really follow sports at all, but for your information and for your admonition or your discouragement, whatever it may be, they did clinch it. They beat the Chiefs. And there was much celebrating and green and white confetti, I think, on the screen where coworkers were watching. Okay, I'm approaching the house. The next time you see me, I'll be reacting to my tip. I spoke too quickly. That's a bummer of a way to end the night. We got stiffed on what is almost certainly our last order of the night. Maybe our manager will let us slide in one more delivery before we take off. But man, that's a real bummer. I'm back at the store and all the drivers are here. There's only a couple, but they're here. And that means that the night is over. So I'm gonna collect my tips and stuff and get back to you. Well, I was wrong. I got back into the store and both the drivers that were there were taking off at the time. So it was just perfect time for me to get one last order before I head out for the night. Right now it's 10:36 and it's a 4-minute drive. Let's hope for a good tip. Hey, 651, that's not bad. All in all, I think we're looking at like a $35 tip night, maybe? It certainly doesn't compare with what you want to make during a Super Bowl shift. I thought we were gonna kill it tonight, but you know what? We're doing okay. We are doing okay. And my manager said she's gonna give me some extra miles because I took a delivery earlier that was supposed to be a carryout. It wasn't even supposed to be a delivery. And I haven't really been tracking my miles. I really need to do that. I need to remember to set my odometer, to set my trip meter thing every time I start my shift, because that can really help. They do calculate it in the app for you, but it only calculates the distance between the store and the delivery spot. It doesn't count, like if you have to drive around to find it, if you have to drive around the apartments a little bit, it doesn't calculate any of that mileage. So it's best if you track it yourself and then tell them at the end of the night. But yeah, we're doing okay. Well, I'm gonna tally up everything when I get back to the store, and we're gonna estimate how much we made with our hourly wage and our mileage and all of that. And I'll let you know. It is the next morning after my shift, and so I got off at 10:50 last night, and then I went home briefly, and then I went to my job at 11:30, but I never went over my earnings with you last night, so I wanted to go ahead and do that. So I made $18.51 in credit, and I made $17 in cash. Both of those are tips, credit tips and then cash tips. So that's what, $35.51. And then I made $16 in mileage, and I worked for 3 hours and 50 minutes at a rate of $4.50 on the road and $7.50 in store. I'm going to estimate I spent around an hour and a half in store, and then the rest of the time on the road. So I think that my hourly earnings are going to be somewhere between $22 and $24, let's say, somewhere around there. I could be off on that. But altogether, that brings our earnings to something like $70 to $75, somewhere in that neighborhood, kind of maybe closer to 75, I think. And that's not bad for 3 hours and 50 minutes of work. Not quite the Super Bowl shift that I was hoping for or expecting, but I try and keep my expectations low. And that one just barely cleared them, I suppose. Thanks for riding along with me. I hope that you had a good night and that you're having a good morning. I'll see you on the next one.